This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and wow, welcome to today's edition of the Pitstop. Happy Friday, all of you, and of course, you are the star of today's show because the whole point is for us to sit back, relax, and talk about our favorite hobby, and that being sim racing. So I'm going to bring the stories that I know. I have a few people who've sent me stories, and I want to thank all of you who do send me stories and topics for the show because it's a big help. And of course, if there's anything that you think that we should be talking about, I want you to talk about it in the chat. I want to have discussion about these topics, and I don't even mind taking our time. I will cut out the worthless topics that we get to towards the end of the show in the name of having good conversation about some of the better topics. So with that said, what is going on in the world of sim racing? And again, I know it said it before, but happy Friday to everybody. Happy Friday to everybody out there. And I'm a little pumped up because my move is finally 100% over. For any of you guys who are involved in the story behind the scenes of the world of Sean, I got my car home yesterday, ready to be on the road, and it's driving like a champ, and I had a blast. The guys on Patreon actually got to see a video of me firing it up and getting it on the road again. So anyway, big day for me, and it was the final part of the move. So over the weekend, I'm going to work on the studio, and I'm going to start getting caught up on things. And, you know, I got a race tonight. I'll be there. So 6 p.m. tonight, we have our Sim Racing Systems race. I'll talk about that at the end of the show. But, man, the amount of racing I've been doing lately is really taking a hit. The Simpit is taking a hit as a result. And I look at how backed up I am on reviews, and it's a little embarrassing, actually. And there are so many things that I'm behind. And when companies send me products, or in this case, a few friends have sent me things to review, you know, there's a timeline that's to get it done and back in their hands, or the video out there. So I just want to, you know, apologize, or not even that. I am doing everything I can to get the review side of the Simpit back running at full throttle. That is a big deal and something very important to me. So, no, that's what I'm working on the weekend, getting the studio set up so that I can be filming and doing everything at that kind of pace. So, on to the stories. That's enough about me. Now let's talk about us. Let's talk about sim racing and our favorite hobby out there. I told you about it when it happened, but I want you guys to go take down Tanner Faust. So if you're a Forza player, I want you to go out there and beat Tanner Faust. He's in his WRC. How long can he call it a GRC? Is everybody going to have to change the name? I guess they can keep that as a retro car now. But what was his gamer tag? Tanner, there it is. Sweet Faust 34. Anyway, he has bettered his lap time, and if you want to get out there and do it, please send me a screenshot showing me that you've beat Tanner. Go after him in Forza. Go get him. Take down Tanner Faust. Hey, Nim Cross. Oh, it's great to have you in the show. Thank you very much, buddy. We had I don't know if we talked about you the other day. Maybe you can give us a scoop. Where are we at with Scott Speed? We saw the photo. We saw more to come. You got any teasers? Is he coming back? Has he paid his price? Has he seen the better way? And is he coming back to sim racing? That's what we all want to know. Next up, Gran Turismo patch is out. We talked about this the other day, maybe just yesterday, and it is finally out. So patch 118, which includes that Supra. And this is a cool car. I like this car. It's a beauty. It's one of those, they did it as a concept racing car, but it, you know, it's not so concept out that you can't imagine it in real life. So anyway, here we have cool shots of it. Cool car. I would definitely like to drive that car. So that is out as of now, and you can get it, and a bunch of other things. We talked about various different changes as things built up to this big patch. So GT Sport, so time to get out there as well. What do you know? Project Cars 2, the photo competition. By now it should end, because this morning it was 20 minutes to go. Can we still see what happened? Did you guys vote? Did you guys get up? Oh, here we have a winner. There it is. How many of you picked this one? That was J. Kohler 89. I think that's a beautiful shot. That was one of my favorites for sure. I think they like it also because it shows it in front of a Ferrari. Number 2, the drifting looking 911 at Nordschleife. Tops of E. Number 3, Spa. And that was by Project Car 2 fans. Oh, wait. I got my numbers wrong. The winner. Oh, no. I got it all wrong. Wait, they messed. I am totally confused now. I am totally confused by the way they did this. Forgive me. Thumbs up. Thank you, Viking. I apologize, you guys. But yeah, this is the one that I like the best. I'm sorry to be giving it to you like this, but look at their website. The voting is now closed. Runners up were these two, now they're saying. I'm so confused. Anyway, did you guys vote? Which one was your favorite? And that's it. Oh, Fast Friday Spokane. That was a good day. That was a good day. Next up, Formula One. So, man, I haven't taken the time to read enough on the way they're doing it, but apparently the top 9 have been decided, so there is still time to qualify for the draft positions. But where we're at right now, the pro draft awaits for 9 F1 Esports Series qualifiers. So, again, this is a sim that I think if anybody on Earth had as good a chance as anyone, it's going to be an F1 2017. And I'm not trying to take anything away from it, but on a setup scale, things are a lot more minimized compared to a F1 car on Assetto or on iRacing. I think it's a more even playing field. Also, keep in mind it's going cross-platform. So you really can do whatever you need to do. Go get them, guys. Come on, guys. Go get them. I want to see you guys win some things and get out there and be the pros. WRC, speaking of pros, they've moved on to round 4. Is it round 4? Argentina. I'm sorry. I'm way off. Round 7. So if you want to, again, another cool esport that you can go after is going on in WRC, a game that I've still yet to play, but I do have, speaking of behind on reviews, I do have this, the Drive Hub, and this should solve my problem for playing WRC. Anyway, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm a little more casual with the show, a little more long-winded on certain things, and a lot of it is anticipation of you guys getting involved in the conversation. I wish I could get the radio thing going, like Dave Despain, and have you guys jump on and so, hey, what are your thoughts on that? We'll work on that for the future. iRacing has a good shot here of the real VRS GT World Championship, and the final came down to a .063 second difference. That is amazing racing, and you know, in the beginning years of sim racing, you couldn't even race quite like this. Forget what sim we're talking about. It doesn't matter. But in the early era of racing, side-by-side racing was sort of almost dangerous to an extent. Getting too close to an opponent was dangerous. But we are at the days where you can actually bump fenders and race at that kind of level and have finishes of .063 differences. Call-ins, wouldn't that be great? I would love to do call-ins. That would be, man, if I could have a way to have it light up and say, we're going to have to, if anybody has a way, if anyone can figure out a way that I can have some kind of a board that lets me know when someone's ready to talk, I would be the first person in the world to say, let's do it. Let's go. Let's bring people on and talk about it. So, FA Racing is also talking about the Forza Championship because these guys are rocking it. I actually think I was going to delete this story, but it stayed on my radar. Sorry about that. Fortnite. I'm only mentioning this, and this was brought up to me by the man who sent this in. Fortnite became the most successful free-to-play game on consoles, and it goes on to talk about, where is it, $223 million they've made in selling the additional content. I think about, I play World of Warships. They don't charge me anything to play World of Warships. So I've actually spent $50, $70 maybe buying ships, extra content, things like that. They've made money on me on a free game, more than they would have if they had sold me the game. Hey, Sean, and you even spell it properly. Not to offend all the other Seans, but yeah, there you go, Raging Kano. Raging Kano, welcome to the show. Call out the 405 and make an appearance on Street Outlaws. I don't believe that show at all, by the way. Street Outlaws, yes. They'd all go to jail. Just for it being filmed. I'm sorry, but anybody ever saw Getaway? What is the Getaway movie in France? The Totally Underground. They all went to jail. Rendezvous. Anyone? Someone's got it. And if you haven't seen it, go look it up. When someone gives us the name, you got to watch it. Rendezvous in Paris. Rendezvous in H1Z1 maker. Oh, anyway, I'm sorry. I lost myself there. My point here on Fortnite making that much money. It's not that... Okay, what if you took this business model and you looked at iRacing? And we can argue or talk about iRacing, whether they've been... well, and that's why I mean Street Outlaws. Yeah, exactly. They close it off, and therefore it's not the Outlaws aspect anymore. So that's sort of the whole thing. They act like they're going to all go to jail, but they're not. They have it all closed off. Otherwise, yeah, but they, in their editing, they act as though it's all some sketchy thing going on. Anyway, back to the topic of Fortnite making $223 million on content. I look at iRacing, and what if they were free? What if they reversed their whole business model and it was just about paying for the content and a good portion of that was free? Yeah, Billy says that's kind of Race Room done that. I mean, that's kind of where they're at. You could say the same about certain other games that maybe charge you up front. Oh, I haven't watched it since then. Gotcha. We're talking Street Outlaws, you guys. And getting back to what Billy was talking about with Race Room, and yes, they do that to an extent. And I wonder how that pans out. I mean, I have no idea the financing between Race Room and iRacing. I have no idea the correlation between membership between Race Room and iRacing. These are the kind of things that could be big when we talk about iRacing in particular, because they have the most unique financial structure. Has that worked to their advantage or disadvantage? You know, we might not know. Do they know? Is that something they talk about in their boardroom meetings? Who knows? But it's something I think about. I told you I was not going to talk about H1Z1 anymore, and here I am talking about it again. And the only reason I'm talking about it is because now that the game is launched and going, well, they lay off a huge amount of their staff. And I'm not trying to slam them, but you think about many things in life where you might have a completely different staff and build up versus what it takes to maintain. So it's a shame for a lot of coders and artists and people out there that are no longer needed. PS4 talks about having shipped 79 million PS4s as of March 31st. We think about the gaming market. It's not just that thing geeks do in the basement anymore. It is mainstream. 79 million. They predict 95 million units by March of 2019. And then you got to multiply that or add to the fact that Xbox is going to have rivaling numbers. That is a lot of consoles out there in the world. A lot of gamers. Here's an article that's kind of funny, talking about being a modern video game tester and literally talking about sending very specific bugs or flaws to the company long before its release to then buy the title themselves later and see those exact flaws in the game. But the companies aren't treating it. You know, it's like, what's the point of being a tester now if they're not even going to listen? Oh, wait, this is funny. That's we're gonna have that photo again in a moment. There it is. Here's another article that's talking about changing the face of gaming. It's no longer that stereotypical gamer. 10 years ago, I think it was a standing joke who a gamer was and what it represented. and many movies have portrayed us. And even in my interview with Jessica, I talked about the whole geek aspect of what we do. But the reality is, gaming isn't geeks anymore. Gaming is mainstream. Gaming is something that corporate CEOs, yeah, Darren, exactly. We are all the beta testers. We are all guinea pigs for new products. And you know, it's hard to get the control group large enough in certain, you know, on the hardware side especially. It's very expensive. On software side, there's a little less excuse for that, but then you have to worry about leaks and quality of the people giving you opinion. But anyway, it's great to see that we are no longer the geeks of the world. We are mainstream. You know, famous singers, famous athletes, politicians, gamers are everywhere now. Next topic, and just another title, because I just like to show you fun ones. Sometimes they're for you, sometimes they're for your kids. But here's a new game coming on Steam, and now, from now on, when a new thing comes on Steam, I have to, like, really look in detail at what I'm looking at. After that article about how many things on Steam are just trashware to an extent for pay. But this is called The Carters, and here's their gameplay trailer of something coming. We'll stop that video and move right along. Another thing here, talking about Anti-Gravitator, another type of racer. I wish we had more wheeled games of worthiness to tell you about, but right now we're a little dry where we're depending on our bigs to make big updates, really. I guess Assetto Competizione is the next big thing we're really waiting on. Forza Horizons as well, I guess. Intel's 10nm Cannon Lake CPUs won't arrive in mass quantities until 2019, so those of you super techie who've been waiting on the latest, greatest Intel, things have been backed off. So looks like, I don't know if that'll be the entire edge, but again, AMD's making a big push. I'm sure that delay will not help Intel in the battle. But that's good for us, I think. I'm ready for AMD to get some market share again. I wasn't going to talk about this. Microsoft has a big sale going on in their store. So, you know, if you want to get the Forza Horizon 3 and Hot Wheel expansion, looks like this is the Euro store, by the way. I always mess that up. It didn't say it specifically, but I saw Euro pricing. But if you're interested in Xbox games, they are having a sale going on right now. Really well-known league, GPVWC. They are opening up a new series, and it's an Academy series. So they are working in conjunction with Avid Chronic Racing for the iSim RS Academy. So if you're looking to better your skills and get some great racing in, you are going to want to go check this out. You're going to want to go check out the story at gpvwc.com. That's en.gpvwc. That is going to be a good place. And one of the most common emails I get from people is, where can I go do some racing? It's hard to find racing. And I agree. That is one of the most difficult aspects of sim racing. But here's a good place to go find others to race with. Millennial Esports. We talked a lot about them with everything going on with their esport and on-site competitions. Anyway, they're doing something that's going to allow us all to win a chance to drive a Formula One car. So you want to talk about the biggest prizes in sim racing? I don't know what it cost to drive an F1 car. You guys, if you want to know the biggest distraction in my life, it is the topic of the 1080 video card giveaway. Every time I look out of the corner of my eye, I see Sean's giving away 1080s. No, Sean is not giving away 1080s. I'm sorry. I wish I was. I really do wish I was. Anyway, but this could be big. So again, I think of the biggest offerings in sim racing, the biggest prizes. Sometimes it's finances, sometimes it's rings or trophies, sometimes it's pride, and sometimes it's a real drive in a Formula One car. There's another thing about Millennial Esports. They've got a gaming company involved with them, feeding in even more money into what they're going on. So we are, again, I'm not going to dwell on these topics. I'm just going to keep touching upon them so you guys realize how much esport is exploding. And when we think about those 95 million PS4s by 2019, If you think about that, even if we're just a fraction of that, I'm not super good at math, but 10% of 95 is 9.5 million. Even if we are 5%, you're talking about 4.25 million, 4.75 million, sorry. You know, even if we're just 1%, you're still talking about 1 million people that are sim racing and esporting. So, it is huge. It is huge, guys. Speaking of which, Danish esport team North have announced a partnership with Adidas. If I could have a clothing sponsor, I would take Adidas. I don't know if you guys know that I only wear Adidas sweatpants. Sorry, it goes back to my days of playing junior select soccer. Sorry, but I love Adidas. I wish they were my sponsor. For those newbies who want to know things, and I literally say newbies, here's an article here at Techarus informing the world on what 2.6 billion people are gaming, surpassing traditional sports like basketball, baseball, and American football. And they go on to give you a little description of some of the terms like noob, pawn, rig, lag, twitch, steam, FTW are all of our favorite for the win. Next up, this is great. This was sent to me by Steve Dager. Thank you, Steve. Great topic here. This is a guy, Dominic Dobson. So I remember Dobson. I don't remember Dominic, but Dobson was an IndyCar driver, did 7 appearances in the Indy 500. Went on to do some other racing and forming a VR company as well, working with guys at Intel. Over the years, he's done Pikes Peak things where the sim helped him out. That sure looks like a sim experience right there, doesn't it? You tell me, Darren. You're the expert. Anyway, but he is now doing full sim rig training. So a lot of you guys are into big trucks. They have built a sim rig specifically designed for truck simulating training. And this is coming from a guy with IndyCar experience who went into creating a VR company, who expanded upon that to turn it into a very specific teaching truck drivers. I'm talking big rigs. So this is very cool here, and well done to him. And I would like to drive that rig as well. That'd be a lot of fun. So that is my last sim racing related story of the day. Beyond that, tonight, 6 p.m., we are going to race at Sim Racing System. And if you want to get an idea, just in concept, how much racing is going on at Sim Racing System, our race is at 6 o'clock. You got an Assetto Corsa race in 36 minutes, another race room race in 36 minutes, Assetto in an hour, race room in an hour, 2.5 hours till you have the pair again. 3 hours and 3.5 hours, 2 more AC races. We still haven't gotten to the Simpit. There's another one. And then 8 hours, 36 minutes from now, we have the Simpit Exos Challenge. So when we talk about looking for racing, looking for where can you get involved and get out there and race against others, Sim Racing System is a great spot. It's free. Go sign up for a free membership. You could be running a race room, Assetto Corsa, and then you can run with us in the Simpit Exos Challenge, which we run on Thursday and Friday nights. This is week 5 of 6. We're at Paul Ricard tonight at 6. This will be my first race back in a while. Been very busy and not racing, so I'm looking forward to it, and I'll probably be a little out of shape. Not out of shape, but out of performance. I think I'll be missing some marks, and just that edge won't be there, but I want you to get out there and race. It's Friday. It's the beginning of the weekend. Get out there, race. Have a good time. And show me the results. Go take down Tanner Faust. Go win, or show me where you are on the F1 leaderboard or on the WRC leaderboard. I want to see them, and I'm going to make you the star of the show. And speaking of which, I want to congratulate big Stan Donnet. Stan Donnet, the painter for our series, brought home a very, very big win at Paul Ricard last night. And he'll be there tonight seeing if he can hold off all the challengers. He's going to be the guy everybody's looking for, gunning for. But congratulations to Stan on the big win last night. And I am looking forward to going after you tonight. So that's going to do it. Have a great weekend, everybody. Get out there and race. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole. and I'll see you on the track.